Hey guys, it's JBoy here, and welcome to the Call of Duty Ghosts Information Weekend. It's Saturday, and you know what that means? It's time for the campaign news. Right, this is basically what campaign is about, okay? I've got loads of bullet points here. I'll try and put as many as possible in the description, but I'm just going to read out all of these that I know about it, and then I've got three missions with a kind of like description of them at the end. Right, I better start. I may have to split this into two because I've probably got 20 bullet points, but I'll try and get through them as quickly as possible, and we'll talk about multiplayer again later. Right. Mass event is enemies hacking into Odin Space Station and taking control of the rods. Launch the rods against many different locations in the US. I think what they mean what they mean by rods is like missiles. I think they literally mean like the kind of missiles they're going to try and blow up like different parts of the US, which I think is terrible. I think that's why, if you've ever seen the trailer with all the bombs coming down, which I did try to put up on the channel, but I got pulled down by copyright reasons.
Finish the mission. You're all
I think that's what they mean by, and they hacked into the Odin Space Station. Okay. Right. Antagonist of Ghosts is a fictional South American confederation. That was a long word to say. I think basically what it's saying, it was kind of a bit of a myth that the Americans had like a SWAT team sort of thing called Ghosts, which are basically like people in ghillie suits running around with snipers popping people's heads off. That's lovely. The story starts off by you trying to fight back what you lost, then changes midway to get revenge. So I think that means that basically at the start of the thing, someone's obviously taken a piece of land which is yours, or something like that, or maybe even a country or a couple of towns, and you're trying to fight back to get them back. And then basically, obviously, you win them back, and then halfway around you decide to go and get your revenge back on who had stolen them. Right, this is when we get into the real good bits. The dog's name is Riley, if you've like ever seen the proper trailers of it. That's a very key character.
Search and destroy.
You use his camera to control him. You can make him bark, attack enemies with him. So that's really good because it's basically like controlling a canine unit, isn't it? You can be hiding in a bush and send your dog out, and he'll go and kill them all, which is a really good idea. I don't know if it'll be very effective, because see, a dog's not very discreet, is it, when it comes to running, barking at you, and then randomly rips your head off. But hey, it's not a problem. Want strong emotional attachment with characters. So it sounds like this dog has got quite a strong emotional attachment to maybe the main character or some other characters in the game, so there could be a sad bit in the game where the dog may die, which is a bit of strong. You fight amongst your brother. That sounds like quite a key point there. So you're playing with family members, that makes it even more emotional. The game is focused on South American oil regions, so you're fighting for the oil regions like, oh, I'm trying to think of the country now, but it's somewhere out in the India place. No, not Pakistan. Oh, one of them, but I'm not too good at my geography. There's a mysterious biological threat with devastated environment. That sounds good. So that's basically saying there's like maybe a nuke or something like that has devastated the environment around where you're fighting. The underwater level, already revealed, is an environment of its own. You have gunfights, new soldiers coming at your location from different directions, using a Russian weapon that is weak, but useful underwater. Enemies and the player take cover behind rocks and reefs, but also the unique vertically to get elevated shot or dodge fire. So that sounds really cool. That sounds like you're sort of fighting underwater, like having a bit of a dogfight underwater. So that sounds really good. Infinity Ward built a whole new underwater environment. So this sounds like a whole mission underwater, which sounds really cool. And it looks like like it says in the last one, that you've got a Russian weapon that is very weak on land, but underwater it's probably one of the best guns you can probably get. So that sounds quite cool. You have to swim for cover. You have to swim from cover to cover, just like in an above ground battle. So that sounds really cool. So it sounds like you're sort of diving from rock to rock and hiding behind corals and shooting over corals. And that sounds really cool. The dog is a remote recon scout and deadly weapon controlled by the player via a tablet-like viewfinder. So, like in Black Ops 2 at the moment, you get like the lightning strike tablet and things like that. Looks like a little iPad. basically one of those, and you can control your dog from it via the camera on its head and sort of follow things around and go and kill enemies, which sounds cool. No ties to Modern Warfare. The Simon Riley mask is just a fan service. So basically it looks like they've put the old Simon Riley mask back in, like you can put it on your character, and that was from the Modern Warfare 2 if I'm correct. I think that, or it could just be COD 4 Modern Warfare, I'm not sure. Wants world to be a character. I'm not sure what they mean.
Good job. Get ready
not
for
sure
the
what I
next
mean by
round.
that, but don't know, I'll just take bullet points down. New gameplay to customise the level as you go. Hidden things create submission or affect story. That sounds really good. It sounds like you can kind of pick the outcome, which is really cool. A bit like the Black Ops 2 campaign, where you could sort of choose your class loadouts and like what you look like and things like that. Well, you can't really customise it that much. You can only customise your class loadouts. But it sounds like this one you can do more than that, which sounds really cool. You are trying to tell a story that makes the player care about what's happening. So maybe it sounds like maybe in, I don't know if you remember in the first Black Ops Campaign, when you're all in the snow and everything, there's all big blizzards and you're driving down past the boat and you're sitting in a lorry and you're basically telling a big story, or when you're sitting around the campfire telling a story. That was a good campaign, that one.
Bomb active.
Ghost delivers all new story and all new characters and all new Call of Duty world. And that sounds really cool. It sounds like maybe they've redeveloped the whole sort of what do you call it? I can't think of now. Like the drivers for the game. That sounds quite
Good
cool.
job. Get ready for the next round.
There is a cast of characters that you'll feel emotionally attached to. So like I was saying back then a minute ago, you're also fighting against your brother, which is brilliant. So that means you've got family members out there, maybe you've got some members that you joined the army with, maybe been training with for many years.
Search and
So
destroy.
you're starting to get emotionally attached to them. So if they've got injured or something, you may feel obliged to try and take your own life to try and save them, which sounds really cool.
We got the bomb.
What else is there? Right. Story begins 10 years before a mass event. America's crippled, government's in disarray, military forces crippled. So it sounds like basically a country or something has nuked a piece of America, and it's basically made the whole environment around just fall to pieces and just all collapse in, which is really good. We as players fight back against the superior forces. It sounds like maybe there's a bigger army out there and you're having to fight against them, being like the losing team, if they kind of put it.
Lightning strike on standby.
Ghosts are a super elite fighting force, so it sounds like it's kind of like a SWAT team of its own. Addition to squad dogs, as a squad member you care about the dog's actions. Takes place in America a few years from now. A lot of battles and destruction have taken place already. Things don't look good for America. The Ghost team, no one knows who they actually are or where they come from. Ghosts are a salvation and hope. You play as a brother. You play your brother as a ghost.
Eliminate the
Brothers
objective.
grew up in this environment, idolised the Ghost team, were born shortly after events. So it sounds like you've kind of grown up with these Ghost team, and they sound like a bit of a secret SWAT team that sort of go around and have come out of nowhere and are trying to save America now. It sounds really good. And the story begins where brothers meet the Ghost team. So that sounds really good. It sounds like it tells you when they've grown up and they've met them and all that lot. Sub-brand clarified. Not clarified, sorry. Start of new story arc, not in Modern Warfare or Black Ops universe, its own universe.
Alright, we lost that,
That
round,
sounds
but
really
it's not
cool.
over yet. Get ready for the next one.
No relation to Ghost in Modern Warfare 2, so there's nothing in any other Modern Warfare than this fresh story. You do not change characters on mission basis, plays the same group throughout. So, I mean, you don't sort of change from side to side like you did in Modern Warfare 2. You started off as the good guys, and then you end up with Makarov, and then you ended up fighting Makarov, so you're not thrown around. Now, I've got some campaign missions here I can tell you the description of. There's one here called No Man's Land. This takes place in San Diego. You and your brother are driving through San Diego and see the destruction and the damage done. Major emphasis on stealth. Reach a crater where you need hazmat suits and gas masks. You have not met up with the rest of the Ghost team yet. The mission is in the beginning of the game, so you haven't met up with the Ghost team yet. You're solo with your brother, and you're having to try and take out as many enemies as possible, hiding in a bunker sort of thing, a crater. Sorry. Into the deep. This takes place underwater in the Caribbean Sea. Lots of destruction underwater. Gunfights are possible with bullets aren't as effective. you get attacked multiple times and you are actually weak compared to the enemy. It sounds like you're the underdogs trying to fight this great army, and it sounds really fun actually, this campaign, I've got to say. Now Federation in Caracas, Venezuela opens with you in a skyscraper. You prepare to zipline glide through the map, fireworks in background celebrating as unspecified holiday. Team locates in a server room and then they install some hacking device into the computers. So this sounds like you're sort of hacking into this company sort of thing, like a big server which is telling you everything that the enemies are doing, which sounds really good. Now I must say guys, from that kind of information I've just read out there, that sounds brilliant. I'm definitely going to play the campaign. I may even do a campaign run through with you guys. Now guys, this is the first video for the Call of Duty Ghosts Information Weekend. I hope you found this factual. I'll try and put as many of these bullet points in the description as possible so you can read through yourself. Tomorrow I'm bringing out the multiplayer video. That's going to be a short sort of 10-minute video. Short sort of 5-minute video. And I'll be bringing out the other information video, which will be telling you about what engine it runs and stuff like that. All the geeky stuff. So thanks guys and peace out.
I'll be right